took this loss on the replay backtesting. So the 1 minute did have an inverse fair value gap, but perhaps we were missing the sweep of anything. So I don't know. We'll see. On the 15-second, we had this fair value gap inversed. Basically, on the 1 hour, we're bullish with this chat candle, and previously to that, we also had this other swing down here, this to here, and this 50% move, this swing is this chat candle, and it did not engage the POI, but it did engage the 50%, and sometimes the 50% by itself could be a POI. So that did go to liquidity, draw on liquidity, and then here, when we had this next swing, which is this next 1 hour chat candle, we retraced more than 50%. We had an inversion of fair value gap on the 1 minute and the 15-second, and the multiple time frame CISD is mostly up. So this gets us to the question that is this a A+ fair value gap inversion? Well, now that we look at it more closely, perhaps we can search for clues, which is that there's a long wick here, and the close wasn't really super strong. See? So that is not really an A+. The 15-second did have a inversion and had a good close, but also there was no volume. So we'll chalk this to experience, and we'll actually scroll forward and see what else happens. Maybe we get a sweep of this low, and we'll see what develops here. Okay, what we're seeing is a sweep and then a strong closure, and see, volume came in here, but volume wasn't on this 1 minute candle, so I'm not sure what that means. On the 15-second, we have these wicks that reject the downside. Get rid of this. So 15-second, changing the state of delivery would be here. We would sweep this low, we would reject here and close here. Not too much volume. On the 1 minute, we do have a good looking closing. So I'm going to call this an A+ CISD on the 1 minute. Everything else is A+. We have the multi-time frame trend, CISD trend up. We have the 50% retrace. We're in discount. And now we've swept and we've closed. So yeah, then we just wait for this pullback to here and see. Okay, we got tagged in. And we go to target. There we go. So the previous trigger entry model was not A+. Everything else was A+. So we should have had the, see this closure right here, this had been previously the iFVG inversion, but this candle here, that one was not the most ideal compared to this candle right here, this green one that had a resounding clear close, making this A+. So took that one. If I had to do it over again, that's not A+ iFVG, but this is a A+ sweep of the low right here with the X and these rejection wicks, and then this CISD right here, change the state of delivery line with a good candle closure. We didn't get a whole lot of volume confirmation. We had volume here somehow. 15-second, all these rejection wicks, and sweeping this low, this CISD right here, and this closure right here, and these candles closing right there, as you saw. We'll line up the vertical right there, so that, oh yeah, so when this closed, the next candle actually was a red candle. If we move, so it came back to tag us into the trade. Because how Navi does it is he sees the closure right there of this candle, and then he puts a limit order. So his limit order would have been here at this line. And what this red candle does is it tags us in and almost stops us out, but we had enough cushion such that we were able to stay in the trade and go to target at 1.2. So that's what this wick is. This is that strong closure on the 1 minute, but then this is that red candle with a long tail, with a long wick, and then it starts to move. Right there, that red. It's a little bit obscured by the pink and green box, but you see the wick after the closure. So sometimes a strong closure doesn't have any pullback and goes straight to target. Other times it pulls back, tags us in, and then moves to target. Like that. All right, so there's an A+, another A+ in the books, along with a non-A+ that was a loss. So this is a double video. Basically had two things. Oh, and just to be complete, the chat candle and the 1 hour ended up looking like this. We had chat candle closing, the virgin wick right there, and we engage the POI, and we go beyond, we go to 50%. That's what this yellow line is, this swing. From here to here, 50% is right there. And we have a A+ CISD. We had a non-A+ fair value gap inversion earlier, and then we had these rejection wicks, and then we had the proper CISD with a good closing of that green candle, and then it goes to target.